Not getting anything.
Here comes Earnhardt.
This is Talladega, where speed meets spectacle. Welcome to one of the biggest NASCAR weekends on the schedule.
3 by 3 to the line.
Nearly 200 miles per hour. Crashes, chaos, and checkered flag dreams. Driver interviews, race prep, campground madness. The party never stops. It's loud, it's legendary, and it's all Talladega. Buckle up, there's the green flag. Let's go.
I have never seen anything like that.
This is Talladega. High banks, high drama, waiting to unfold over a wild weekend of racing. Welcome to On the Road Talladega, everybody. I'm Jeff Spiegel here along with Jamie Hale.
It is great to be here at one of NASCAR's most historic tracks here. You can always count on great action, and we know the big one is likely to.
There's no doubt about it. It's not just us here. We've got the whole team for the next hour. Alabama's chief meteorologist, James Spann, is hanging out in the pit tower, keeping an eye on the sky with your weekend forecast.
Plus, we've got Johnny Cotton live. He'll take you for a lap or two around this 2.66-mile track. And we know campgrounds can get crazy. Valerie Bell is hanging out right around there with some fans that are excited for some action.
Yeah, the weather forecast today has been a bit iffy with rain expected around the area. But fortunately, we've got Alabama's chief meteorologist tracking it all.
Hey, James, how's that forecast looking?
Well, so far, so good. We are looking at dry conditions at the moment. I do think we'll have some rain before sundown this evening, but the weekend looks fine here. Let's go right to the radar. Quite frankly, on a day like today, this is all that matters, and you can see parts of Alabama getting a soaking this afternoon. We've got some heavy rain falling around Tuscaloosa, good rain showers around Jasper, Smith Lake. The rain moving into the Birmingham metro, just north and west of downtown. Nothing severe here, but the rain is heavy in spots, along with some thunder and lightning. down to the south, we have heavier rain falling in parts of west central Alabama as well. And again, the same thing, a lot of thunder, lightning, nothing especially severe. The rain will be coming through Talladega most likely between about 5 and 7 o'clock in the form of showers. After that, I'm telling you, the weather for the weekend looks good. The chance of rain is not zero, but it looks pretty good. Coming up, I've got the specific forecast for race weekend, the 7-day forecast, and much more. We'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, James, looking forward to it. If you need to know anything and everything about the weekend at Talladega, there's one person to go to.
Welcome the president of Talladega Superspeedway, Mr. Brian Crichton. Thank you for joining us. Now, Brian, this is a great place, I'm sure, to be working your Monday through Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and even this Saturday and Sunday as well. But thank you guys so much for being here. Just a massive, massive event we've got going on, and we're the 5th largest city in the country. Or I'm sorry, in Alabama right now.
Yeah, you mentioned last week that it's like a one big family reunion. Jamie and I were driving in. We saw plates from Pennsylvania, from all over.
Yeah, all 50 states will be here. We have 23 different countries from 5 different continents that are coming to Talladega. Truly a worldwide event.
That's unbelievable.
Jeff has worked in Knoxville. I've worked in Florida. I mean, both of those places, always a buzz when it comes to this Talladega time. What makes it so special where people from Virginia, Maryland, everywhere else come here on the weekend?
Yeah, it's the history and tradition of Talladega. You know, we're 56 years now, opened up in 1969, and just all the great memories, all the great things that have happened here. Dale Jr. Winning 4 in a row. Dale Earnhardt Sr., of course, in 2000, his last win. Was right here. And so it's, and like we talked about earlier too, it's to me, it's the world's largest unrelated family reunion. We just got people that just come back from all different parts just to be next to one another and camping and in the grandstands.
Brian, speaking of the tradition, we lost Bobby Allison in November.
Yeah.
85 Cup Series wins, 4 wins here at Talladega. How will he be honored Sunday?
Yeah, so we've been honoring him all weekend. There was a new room that was unveiled to the Allison family today, a nice ribbon cutting ceremony there. Program stories, we've got videos that are going to be played. But the biggest thing is this is going to culminate with a lap around the racetrack in his 1969 Mercury number 12 car.
Yeah, Robbie Allison's going to be driving
that.
His
grandson Robbie Allison's going to be driving that. We've got over 30 members of the Allison family that are here to take in the weekend. Obviously Bobby was a special person. Not only a tremendous wheelman, but just a great person.
I've noticed a lot of fans are out here, and it's not just for adults. There's, kids, children out there. What makes it such a fun family experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Talladega Garage Experience. We opened that up back in 2019, and it really is geared towards the family. It's got a kids zone. It's got a game zone. You can actually walk into the garages. So you're on one side of the garage. The race cars and the teams are on the other side of the garage. Open air. You can see the drivers, hear the drivers. They come up, they sign autographs. So it immerses you into the sport. Victory Lane's part of that as well. And then one of my favorite things, we have value price concessions. $2 hot dogs, $2 waters, $4 16-ounce beers, chicken fingers and fries. I could go on and on and on, but it's very economical for the family to come out and really just enjoy it and be immersed into the sport.
Yeah, that is so awesome. Brian Crichton, the president of Talladega Superspeedway. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today, and have a great weekend.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys for being here too. And James is saying the weather's going to be good, right?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, let's go back to last fall, and no surprise, it was a wild day at Talladega. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. snapping a 65-race losing streak with an overtime win after a massive 27-car crash. Took out most of the field, including 8 playoff drivers. Stenhouse edged out Brad Keselowski and William Byron in a chaotic finish. We sat down with Ricky ahead of this weekend's race to chat about his love for this track. Take a listen.
It feels like a home race. We're the defending winner of the fall race, and so we're looking to go back to back and pull back into victory lane. The way I get treated at Talladega makes me feel like I'm from Alabama. So good to have all our fans there. So it's a really special place for me and my family. Going to victory lane together, and looking forward to another opportunity come April 27th.
Now, we know Ricky will be running up front on Sunday. We wish him the best. One of the biggest attractions for race weekend here at Talladega is the Campground.
It is legendary, Jamie. Some stories are good for TV. Others may be a little too risky.
Valerie looks like she's having fun out there, too. We'll see her again in the next half hour.
Actually, we're going to go to her right now. I think Valerie is at the campground. And Valerie, how's it looking out there?
Hey, Jeff, Jamie, as you guys just said, it's a lot of fun right here. We're actually in the North Park campground. We're told that's where it's at, right? Now take a look around and you can see how crowded it already is. People are still coming in. People are out here enjoying the weekend with old friends and new ones. Some race fans have been coming to Talladega for decades, and others tell me it's actually their first time. People have traveled from all over the country for this. While people I spoke with say they're ready for the action on the track, some of their favorite memories are the ones they made right here at the campground.
Got David, my little brother and his friends, my buddy Dalton, and a boy I met last year. You meet somebody, you'll be friends for life with them. That's how it goes.
Austin Pitts has been making the trip from Savannah, Georgia for 5 years now. He comes to the races in both the spring and the fall. He says he's making this a tradition. He brought his little brother Gavin with him. It's Gavin Pitts' first time here. He's excited for the race. He tells me he's rooting for Ross Chastain. He weighed in on his first experience so far.
I think it's great. I think the people are great. The energy's good, and it's only Friday, so we'll see how it gets tonight.
Now there's also a group of 21 guys down here with a bus, and get this, some of them have been coming here since 1988. Of course, we'll introduce you to them later on in the show. I'll send things back over to you, Jeff and Jamie.
Well, Valerie looks and sounds like she's having so much fun. We'll see her again in the next half hour.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about it. It's a family tradition, and it's been going on for years here at Talladega. There are other stories making headlines across central Alabama today. Let's head back to the studio with Brenda LeDunn for a news update. Hey, Brenda.
Hey, Jeff, it's actually Muriel here. Hey, guys. Well, top leaders in the automotive world are in Tuscaloosa County today, driving bold conversations about the future of sustainability. Major players from Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Honda, Bass, Hydro, and Nucor Steel all shared the stage at the Mercedes-Benz U.S. International Visitor Center. This during the Driving Sustainability in the Southeast Summit, and it was to highlight how their companies are cutting emissions, transforming supply chains, and building a more environmentally responsible future. Mayor Larry Holcomb will give Fultondale's State of the City address next week. He will speak on updates to city initiatives, accomplishments, and future plans. The address will be held at the Fultondale Event Center on Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning. President Donald Trump will deliver a commencement address at the University of Alabama Thursday. All spring 2025 graduates will have the opportunity to attend the event at Coleman Coliseum. Now, this ticketed event will be in addition to college-specific graduation ceremonies scheduled to take place Friday through Sunday. The state's oldest and longest running strawberry celebration is now underway in Coleman. The Alabama Strawberry Festival is being held at Depot Park and Fest Hill Farmers Market. Visitors can enjoy more than 80 different vendors, crafts, food trucks, carnival rides, and live musical performances. The festival lasts through tomorrow night. And that's your quick news update. Back to you guys live in Talladega.
Thanks, Muriel. I can't see you, but you sound fantastic as always. Back here at Dega, the fun is just getting started.
We have got a jam-packed hour coming your way, getting you ready for Talladega. Johnny Goes Racing. Check out Johnny Condon getting into a race car and learning how to go fast at Talladega. He'll tell you all about his NASCAR racing experience.
And back and better than ever, the International Motorsports Hall of Fame has made a comeback. We took a tour of the new and improved hall, and when you see this story, you'll want to visit too. We are back from Talladega after this break.
It's just hard to explain, how good it does feel that we were able to do this and build a name for Alabama like we did.
My life has been a good one. I've won races, a lot of championships, and got recognition from it. And it's an honor to be in the class where the Bobby
What a
and
moment
Donnie
at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame. The ribbon cut for the Allison Room, a new exhibit at the Hall of Fame, celebrating the careers of Bobby Allison, his brother Donnie, and Bobby's son Davey. It is a must-see when you come to the races this weekend, and a perfect way to honor the first family of racing at Talladega. Welcome back to ABC 3340. On the road, we are at the Talladega Superspeedway.
The International Motorsports Hall of Fame has made quite a comeback.
That's right, Jamie. And we bring in Johnny Condon. And Johnny, you took a tour of the Hall of Fame, and it is just an awesome place.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. Well, race week is a gradual, slow build. It's a crescendo, some would say. And although we're all getting ready for the Jack Links 500 this upcoming Sunday in the NASCAR Cup Series, there's a number of things to do during race week, including a few hidden gems. As yesterday, I had the privilege and the opportunity to get a behind-the-scenes tour at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame.
A lot of people don't realize they drive by it, especially when they're coming to the races. We're literally right in front of the Talladega Superspeedway, and we have a 33,000 square foot area with 130 vehicles. Obviously, we're heavy on NASCAR. We've got a Budweiser jet car that's propelled by a Sidewinder missile that did over Mach 1. I mean, crazy.
And the museum takes you up close and personal with stock cars throughout the years, and seeing how the safety measures have evolved was truly eye-opening.
And we have an exhibit as well. We have 4 vehicles that are just torn apart from various wrecks across the NASCAR circuit. And you wonder how these guys walked out of those wrecks. And it's amazing, and that's one of our big features here too. People look at it, and we have a big television over it so you can see the wreck. And you see, especially the Michael Waltrip and the Mike Harmon wrecks, where they crashed into a wall and literally the car split.
And one of the main attractions at the museum is the Dale Earnhardt Sr. personal RV, in which he and his team used to drive from racetrack to racetrack.
Somebody was nice enough to donate it to us, and last we had it appraised a little under $2 million. Now, Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s name associated with it has a lot to do with, why that 1993 bus is so expensive. But I mean, it's top of the line.
And the museum has come a long way over the years. Back in 2020, the museum was forced to close due to COVID.
Yeah, 2020, that was a wild year, wasn't it? We had to shut down here, and when we opened back up, cobwebs everywhere, and we decided it was time to bring her back to her glory days, and so we dusted her off and came out of COVID and redid this room. So it's a long way to go, but everybody who comes through here, kind of like what you were saying, I didn't realize all this was back here, didn't realize all the history that was here, and we're just going to continue educating the public and bringing in more and more exhibits.
And just earlier this afternoon, to be on hand when they cut the red ribbon to open up the Alabama Gang Room to honor the Allison family, to have the opportunity to speak briefly with Donnie Allison and Red Farmer, 2 pioneers of the sport who've helped build it into what it is today. But as for what the weather's going to look like this weekend, I'm going to send it over to Alabama's chief meteorologist, James Spann. James, what's going on, man?
Well, I just got a notification, Johnny, that lightning is 9.9 miles away from the super speedway. So we are going to have a passing shower or storm in about 30 minutes to 1 hour, but after that, things look pretty good. But this is an amazing place. I first came here in 1970, the second year of operation. Back then, it was called the Alabama International Motor Speedway. My Uncle Joe took me here. I was very young, but it was so impressive then, and it's so impressive now. But let's go to our Skycam network. This is a live look at downtown Birmingham. A good, steady, soaking rain is falling, and that rain band is gradually moving on to the east. But the good news, after we get this rain band out of here this evening, the weather is looking good for the weekend here at Talladega. The chance of a shower, not zero, but very small. Partly sunny tomorrow, partly sunny Sunday, highs in the mid-80s. The chance of a shower any given hour of those days, only about 1 in 8. The bottom line is the weather is looking very favorable for the races here at Talladega. So here's the radar. This band of showers and thunderstorms has been steadily progressing eastward through the interstate today. You can see the storms coming on through Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. Nothing severe. A lot of creepy-looking clouds, but there's no chance of a tornado, no chance of any severe storms. Heavier rain in Aniana down through Birmingham. Heavier rain falling in parts of Bibb County around West Blockton. And you can see that it's getting close to Talladega. I would say the rain should start here in 30 to 45 minutes, and it will probably rain for about 30 minutes or 1 hour this evening. Down to the south, heavy rain falling now through parts of Marengo County, just pouring at places like Thomaston. But again, once this disturbance moves on to the east tonight, we'll have this ridging building in for the weekend. That typically means very warm and mostly dry weather conditions across the deep south. Where the rain is falling, we have upper 60s, Birmingham at 61. However, here we are in the low 80s, Pell City at 81, Anniston at 82. Here's what we're watching today. The weekend mostly dry with only isolated afternoon showers. Highs will be up in the middle 80s, and it looks like the generally dry conditions will stay in place on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Overnight tonight, showers this evening ending, the sky becoming mostly cloudy. Lows will be in the low to mid 60s. For tomorrow and Sunday, we'll be in good shape. Again, tonight's low between 60 and 64, showers ending this evening. Mid 80s tomorrow and Sunday, the chance of any one spot getting a shower, very small, mostly dry, and really no change for the first half of next week and very warm, mid to upper 80s, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then the rain chances gradually increasing toward the end of next week as a cold front approaches. By Friday, the high 81 with a good chance of rain. But the good news, we see no chance of any organized severe storms in Alabama, at least for the next 7 days. ABC 3340 News at 4 o'clock live from Talladega continues in minutes. We'll see you shortly.
ABC 3340 is on the road today at the Talladega Super Speedway. Thanks to Bill Castle for this incredible set we've got here. And helping decorate the set is this massive trophy that's going to go to the winner of the AG 300 Xfinity Series race, which you can see on CW21. Come to the track, though. It's very exciting when you come see this in person. We're getting you ready for the big NASCAR weekend, Jamie.
Now, Jeff, one name you are sure to hear this weekend is Penske driver Austin Cindric at nearly 200 miles per hour. Chaos is always around the corner here at Dega, but for Austin, it's quite an opportunity for him.
Yeah, here's what the former Daytona 500 winner had to say about tackling Talladega.
Our cars have been super fast there. We've obviously led a lot of laps there over the years, and the playoff race there was, definitely a hard one to accept. And the two you mentioned at the start of the year were both two that are hard to kind of accept the result after, having such a strong showing and such a complete race. But it's racing. I mean, that's the way those races go, and that's what makes them that much better when you do find success. But the guys have been doing an incredible job at those tracks, and I make sure I do my part as well.
The perfect campground coming up next on the road at Talladega. Valerie Bell takes us to the Talladega Super Speedway Campground, or as a NASCAR fan would call it, heaven on earth.
comes Earnhardt.
This is Talladega, where speed meets spectacle. Welcome to one of the biggest NASCAR weekends on the schedule.
3 by 3 to the line.
Nearly 200 miles per hour. Crashes, chaos, and checkered flag dreams. Driver interviews, race prep, campground madness. The party never stops. It's loud, it's legendary, and it's all Talladega. Buckle up, there's the green flag. Let's go.
I have never seen anything like that.
Let's go indeed. Welcome back to the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. I'm Jeff Spiegel, joined by Jamie Hales.
Love that sound back there. This is half hour number 2 as we get you ready for race weekend here at Dega.
Yeah, it's not just us here. I mean, we've got the whole team here. Alabama's chief meteorologist, James Spann, is up in the pit tower, keeping an eye to the sky with your weekend forecast.
Plus, a little later, we go racing with Johnny Condon, and we know the campgrounds can get pretty crazy. Valerie Bell is hanging out there, and she's excited with some fans who are ready for some action this weekend.
Well, this time of year, the weather's always a tad unpredictable. We've got rain, in fact, on the way. Fortunately, we've got Alabama's chief meteorologist, James Spann, tracking it all. And we're all hoping for some great weather this weekend. But, James, there's rain coming.
Right, in the short term, we have a band of showers and thunderstorms approaching. Lightning is about 10 miles west of Talladega, so we're going to be shifting from our outdoor spot to an indoor spot because of that. But once we get this batch of showers out of here this evening, the weekend looks good. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see it's raining now in Birmingham, raining in Tuscaloosa, and that band of showers steadily moving to the east, and we figure it should begin to rain here at the Super Speedway sometime around 4:45 to 5 o'clock. Nothing severe. There's no concern with severe storms. We do have lightning here. 32 lightning strikes in that zone in the last 10 minutes. You can see rain now at Chelsea, rain falling at Leeds, and again, I'd say by 5 o'clock the rain should be falling here, and it should last for about 30 minutes to 1 hour. Heavier rain down to the south. It's absolutely pouring now through much of Perry, Marengo, and Hale counties in West Alabama. But again, once this little disturbance gets out of here, the weather looking much, much better for the weekend with only a small chance of a shower tomorrow and Sunday. Coming up, we've got the race weekend forecast, the 7-day, and much more. We'll see you then.
Well, we know one of the biggest attractions here at Talladega and race weekend is the campground.
Yeah, some stories are good for TV, others maybe not so much, but it's a lot of fun out there. Valerie Bell is having a blast today with some of the sport's biggest fans. Hey, Val, what's going on out there?
Jeff, you mentioned some of those stories that aren't good for TV. Let me just put it this way. Some things are better left here at the campground. Perhaps a new saying, what happens in Dega stays in Dega.
The bus with the Dega boys, always good time.
They call it the Dega bus.
I'm part owner. The other owner is the hairy guy over there. And then my son's getting married about 2 weeks, so we're down here on this bachelor party.
21 guys, one big bus, and for some, this tradition goes back to 1988.
We rented a budget van the very first time I came down here with Mitch. Just met him. It was 2 days after I came back, Mitch said I found a bus.
We first met Mitch Straub out here on the campground 2 years ago.
I got married on yesterday, 32 years ago. That's the only one I missed since 1988.
They've got stories to prove it.
I've seen some stuff, that's all I can say.
But don't worry, he keeps his wife in the loop.
She knows, I tell her everything.
We get drunk and we get wild, but we don't get that wild.
Inside the Dega bus, memories line the walls. Hey, Gary.
Hi.
From old tickets to a tribute to a friend lost to brain cancer.
Really just the bond that we have. You know, it's we're all so tight.
Everybody's having kids and getting married and stuff, so it's kind of the one week a year that we get to all get together.
And for Riley Thomas, it's more than the memories, it's inked into him.
Oh, the tattoo.
Oh yeah, when did you get this done?
I had this done 2 weeks ago. So, but for every year I'm going to have the feathers colored in.
Others are keeping it a bit more temporary.
We also got the nice little handprint from the sunscreen. That was non-knowing until this morning.
Rain or shine, nothing stops this crew.
It's Dega, so we have a good time.
The key to it all is get along. Everybody gets along.
Now those guys are excited to see some action on the track this weekend and of course keep making memories out here on the campground. Live from North Park, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News.
Yeah, some really cool memories out there.
Well, Jeff, he's a NASCAR champion, 31 career wins, but there are 2 tracks that have haunted Kyle Larson. Daytona and Talladega. 42 starts at those. He's never taken the red flag here.
Yeah, he's 0 for 42 in attempts to get that checkered flag. He's crashed. He's come close, but he's still searching for that first win at a place known for chaos and carnage. This weekend he's back and hoping to flip the script, and we asked him how he really feels about racing at Talladega.
I hate it, for sure. I hate Daytona probably even more. Talladega, you do have some room to kind of maybe maneuver your way through, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out for me. I don't know. I feel like we have a good handle on it and like what it takes to run up front and contend for a win. We just haven't been able to do that.
Now, he may not like racing here, but it's probably a safe bet that Larson will run up front on Sunday.
Yeah, he is fantastic. There are other stories making headlines across central Alabama today, as we know. And let's head back to the studio with Muriel Bailey for a news update. Hey, Muriel.
Well, hey, Jeff and Jamie. Well, if you need to get rid of any unused or expired medications, you can do that this weekend. Tomorrow is National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. And there are a number of collection sites around central Alabama, including Hoover City Hall, the Pelham Walmart, Chilton County Jail, and Tuscaloosa VA Medical Center. The collection hours are from 10 in the morning until 2. The city of Anniston has officially opened the Chief Talladega Trail extension. The 6.5-mile extension now means the trail spans nearly 40 miles. The Chief Talladega now connects to Georgia's Silver Comet Trail, forming the longest paved pedestrian pathway in the U.S. Well, the Atlanta Braves made a pit stop in Talladega County today to visit the students at Lincoln Elementary School. The visit is a part of the Major League Baseball team's All-Star Experience Tour. Students learned about the players and had a chance to meet the team's mascot, Blooper.
This is our 12th show this year. We've done this show now for about 20,000 students. So bringing this to the youth of our communities all across Braves country, it's been so much fun. This is our last one of the spring, and we can't wait to bring it back for the fall.
The Braves will also be making their way to Talladega Superspeedway for the big race this weekend. You can find them at the Fan Zone for an all-star experience Saturday and Sunday. They'll have a photo booth, exciting giveaways, and the chance to see Blooper. So, all right, now speaking of Talladega, let's go back out live to Jeff and Jamie. Hey, guys.
Thanks, Muriel. Back here at Dega, so much more to come.
Yeah, you don't want to go anywhere because Jamie and I will have our picks coming up. Plus, we'll hear from the defending champ of the spring race, Tyler Reddick. We are on the road at Talladega, and we're back after this break.
pure chaos, high speeds, and zero room for error. That's Talladega. Tyler Reddick won here last spring, but he knows that the risks run high every time a driver steps inside that car.
Yeah, the wrecks can be brutal, the racing intense, and sometimes it's just about surviving to the checkered flag. Here's how Reddick breaks down the high-stakes world of super speedway racing.
I've kind of grown to enjoy it and just embrace what it is at the moment. Certainly when you get down to the end of these races, it's just a balance of, okay, like I need to push harder, or we're pushing hard enough, and you just kind of ride that aggression up until it hits a boiling point. And
speaking of aggressive, 150 or bust, Johnny Condon's mission was to drive this race car 150 miles an hour around the Talladega Superspeedway. JC will talk about the NASCAR racing experience next.
Shouldn't have had a donut this morning.
Chairs.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing.
Johnny Condon is enthusiastic about every assignment we give him, but he was really pumped about the NASCAR racing experience.
Now, this is the part I really wanted to see. JC getting in the race car, not as graceful as Kyle Larson, but you got in there. Johnny joins us on the set now, and Johnny, we know you are a huge NASCAR fan.
I am, believe
Did
it or
it
not.
live up to the expectation?
It was one of the top 3 coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. You know what it's like when you get off a roller coaster and you kind of have that like 2-minute feeling where you still think you're still on the roller coaster?
Yes.
I drove home that day and going 60 miles an hour on the highway or 65, it felt like I was going 20 miles an hour. I came home, I couldn't sleep, my hands were still shaking, my legs felt like jello, but honestly, it was something that my dad kind of passed down to me as a huge NASCAR fan. And for me to have the opportunity to get in there and kind of put the pedal to the metal, it was awesome.
It looked like the hardest part was popping the clutch.
Oh, my goodness. I had to learn how to drive stick in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Again,
So you've never driven stick, and that was your first
I'm
time
from
doing
Boston, Massachusetts. I've never in a
Wow.
million years had to drive a clutch. So all of a sudden I'm in there, and I asked the instructor, I go, this is manual, right? Or automatic. He goes, nope, because you got to learn. So I spent 20 minutes like Googling and going through YouTube tutorials on how to do the clutch. So it only was first gear to second gear, and then once you get out on the track, you're at fourth gear, and you're kind of fine at 4. But when you're trying to pull back into pit lane, I got all these guys waving their arms at me, and they're like, have so much enthusiasm. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to park this thing. So it was a once in a lifetime experience, and if anybody could do it, I would recommend it tenfold. And if you don't necessarily have to be an adrenaline junkie to enjoy it, because me, I'm pretty timid. There's only a few roller coasters I like to go on because I usually lose my lunch. But to have the opportunity to over my shoulder to drive that great racetrack, there was no big one with me. I stayed clear of the wall.
Yeah, so how fast did you go?
153 miles an hour.
Okay.
Which I don't really have a gauge if that was fast or not, because when you're in the car, it's RPMs. It isn't necessarily miles per hour. So I have no idea how fast I'm going until I come out and they give you the little certificate. It's kind of like, when you graduate the 3rd grade, they give you a congratulations check plus A star with a little star on it. I got a little certificate that says, I, Johnny Condon, am part of the 150 plus club, meaning I made it past 150 miles an hour. And hey, if I die, I hope that's the first line of my obituary one day. I made the 150 club at Talladega.
Yeah, that's so cool. Those guys, by the way, are going a lot faster
That's
than you
for
were
sure.
back there. All right, let's go to James Spann for a check on that all-important weather forecast.
So, Jeff, we have shifted inside into the garage area here, which is actually very cool because we have lightning now within about 8 miles. But let's look at our specific forecast for tomorrow and Sunday. The weather looks good here at the Super Speedway. The chance of a shower, not 0, but we think any showers very isolated. Tomorrow and Sunday, highs mid-80s, the sky partly sunny. Most of the weekend should be entirely rain-free once we get the showers out of here this evening. Let's go right to the radar, and you can see showers working their way across the state. Moving from west to east, some spots getting heavy amounts of rain for a brief time. The rain is now falling in Pelt City and Cropwell. That's only about 7-8 miles west of the Super Speedway. So the rain should begin here, I'd say 5 to 5:15. Nothing severe, nothing too heavy, but some thunder and lightning is involved. We do know down to the south, the Weather Service has posted a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Marengo, Hale, Perry, and Dallas counties for that cluster that's coming out of Gallion, coming up toward Greensboro and Marion. There could be some strong gusty winds there, maybe some small hail. But again, once we get these showers out of here this evening, the weekend is looking pretty good. Where the rain is falling, we have 60s, Birmingham down to 65. Away from the rain, we have 82 in Anniston, 82 in Pell City. We're in the low 80s here in Talladega. A mostly dry weekend ahead with only isolated showers, highs up in the middle 80s, and Monday and Tuesday looking mostly rain-free as well. Overnight tonight, showers ending will be in the 60s tomorrow morning. We'll say the low between 60 and 64. Tomorrow and Sunday, just a small chance of a shower. The high close to 84 both days. Same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mid to upper 80s. We'll see rain chances gradually increasing toward the end of next week. Next weather update in the 5 o'clock half hour. We will see you then live from Talladega.
A power struggle over Birmingham Waterworks. A new bill could change who's in charge. On the news at 5, why it's stirring controversy in Montgomery and what's next as lawmakers take it to the House.
Welcome back to the show. Now, Jeff, there are two things you can count on here at Talladega.
Yeah, fantastic finishes and the big one, two key ingredients to the Dega drama.
Just super speedway racing in general. I'm on edge. I think I'm pretty good at it, but you just go in the mindset that we know anything can happen. If I was a fan there watching it, I think it's one of the coolest races on the planet. It's just from the driver's seat, it's a challenge.
If you're not thinking positive and having good energy going into it and knowing that it is a risky race, but you're going to have fun in the middle of it, you're never going to be successful, in my opinion. I think the guys who have a strong mental attitude going into there is always a good thing. So yeah, I think, I got to tell myself I'm in love with it at least.
I look back at most of these races and we've gotten wrecked while running up front. But usually when you get wrecked running up front, you collect all the cars that run in the back too. So if you're going to get wrecked, you're going to get wrecked. Those are things you just can't think about.
Starting with this year, the CW is exclusively home to the Xfinity Series. Their broadcasts have been great all season long.
Yeah, we caught up with CW analyst Kim Kuhn ahead of tomorrow's race on the CW.
Talladega is one of my favorite racetracks for a lot of different reasons. A, the surrounding area is so fun to explore, but then the racing at Talladega is so compelling and so exciting if you're a race fan. It's one of the tracks I recommend people go to if they've never been to a racetrack to experience in person.
You can catch the Xfinity Series qualifying and race from Talladega tomorrow on the CW. Qualifying will air at 12:30, followed by NASCAR Countdown live at 2 p.m. And the green flag waves for the Ag Pro 300 at 3 p.m.
Talladega has been the site of so many big NASCAR memories.
And many of them are still talked about today. Let's take a look at some of the best. Let's go back to 14 years to April 17th, 2011. The closest finish in Talladega history. Most of the race was marked by two-car drafting. But on the last lap, 8 cars broke away contending for the win. Jimmy Johnson, pushed by Dale Jr., won the race by 2 1/1000ths of a second over Clint Boyer.
It was speed like no other in May of 1987. Bill Elliott shattered records with a pole speed of 212.809 miles per hour. That blistering lap pushed stock cars into open wheel territory. Fast, furious, and frightening. Just days later, a terrifying crash by Bobby Allison sent his car into the catch fence, and NASCAR knew the line had been crossed. The result? Restrictor plates, and Elliott's speed still untouched.
The legacy of the Allison family is always talked about at Talladega, and for good reason. Donnie Allison won twice here. Brother Bobby won 4 times. And Bobby's son Davey won 3 times, taking the checkers in 1987, 89, and 92. The week before the July 1992 Talladega race, he was hurt in a crash at Pocono. He had a broken collarbone and wrist and had surgery on his arm. He spent 4 days in the hospital, only to show up days later at Talladega to race. Davey completed 6 laps so he could earn points before a relief driver took over.
The 1993 Winston 500 would end in dramatic fashion. At the finish of the race, Rusty Wallace would suffer a major crash while crossing the finish line. Dale Earnhardt bumped Wallace, sending him into a series of flips and tumbles. He crossed the finish line in 6th. Rusty was taken to a hospital in Birmingham. He had a concussion and a broken wrist.
Let's go to the year 2000. With just 4 laps to go, Dale Earnhardt was 18th. His fans headed for disappointment. But as the laps clicked off, Dale kept moving forward. The race announcers asked, how did he get through those cars? The crowd was deafening as he took the lead on the last lap. It was his 76th and final win, the 10th win for the Dega Dominator.
And in April 2003, Dale Earnhardt Jr. made Talladega history, becoming the first driver ever to win 4 straight races at NASCAR's biggest track. Starting from the back after an engine change, he dodged a massive 27-car wreck and pulled off a controversial pass for the lead. Some said he went below the yellow line, but NASCAR said it was clean. And with that, Jr. sealed his legend, and Victory Lane roared with 160,000 fans. So, Jamie, Our show's almost over. The Jack Links 500 will wrap up the weekend. That'll be Sunday at 2. Who do you think's going to win?
I've got Brad Keselowski. He's won 6 times here, so I'm going to go with him.
He's won a lot of races here. I'm going to go with a guy who has won twice here. Chase Elliott. He won in 2019. He won again in 2022. Well, it's been 3 years, so it's time for Chase to win again. So that's who I'm going with, is Chase Elliott. Well, that's all the time we have for this special on-the-road edition of ABC 3340. Hey, thanks so much to our news director, Jeff Cox, one of the biggest NASCAR fans I know. He produced this show, and it was great fun, Jeff. Thank you so much. We've had so much fun here in Talladega.
Thank
we
you
hope
guys
you have
for
too.
watching. Yep. Have a great day.
First at 5, mayhem and unpredictability.
People are great. Energy's good, and it's only Friday, so we'll see how it gets tonight.
A NASCAR